Hi everyone. Sorry I couldn't make class tonight. I'm traveling for work, so things are a little bit hectic. However, I wanted to contribute to my team's presentation and wrap up with the conclusion side here. So we wanted to take our scenario that we've been working on with Lonnie's company and tie it into the class material. I think it's a good way to give a good synopsis of what to take away from our presentation. In terms of the 5 functions of management, which are planning, organizing, leading, staffing, and controlling, which of these have really been impacted in this scenario? It's a good way to kind of take a look back. So in terms of planning and organizing, there needs to be a system for training for new and existing employees. I think this company needs to work on its efficiency levels, particularly when you have some of these individuals that are tend to have a high impact on morale because they're in this position when they probably don't really deserve to be there. In terms of leading, Lonnie spoke briefly to us about his own portfolio builds for a better preparation and execution of his responsibilities. That's something that could even tie into training procedure. But for staffing, it's all about that basically for this scenario. Really needing to put the correct people in the right roles and making sure that leadership is delegated correctly to well-performing candidates. In terms of the 5 stages of team building, which is forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Forming, the new CEO seems to understand these shortcomings that are pretty prevalent in upper management. So she's probably going to look to be hiring and firing some people to really make the company hit that next level of performance. In terms of norming, the job responsibilities shared outside the individual's own duties, that can produce a negative impact. Lonnie spoke about how he had to pick up how he had to do some of those things, and that kind of relates back into performing, where projects weren't completed correctly from other directors. So Lonnie's team picks up the workload from there. So the norming and performing stage, those definitely have some similarities in where the impact is felt across. So when not executing these functions and stages correctly, it's very clear that the entire team and the organization can be negatively impacted. So with this new CEO, there definitely seems to be a company transition that's starting to come in. So this person's very well aware of what changes need to be made, particularly with training and even in the upper management phase. It's a correct top-down approach to really looking at every particular person in the hierarchy and seeing how the company can better perform. Lonnie believes that changes are in making these procedures and responsibilities better to execute. Understanding the system for a better level of efficiency and effectiveness, and having that department cohesion. So you have all these other directors that have their own teams, but how do they work together? Can they have a level of cohesion for project completions? And then the company mindset that Lonnie spoke about earlier was the company is very strictly profit oriented before this new CEO. However, she seems to be now into heavy communication, which in turn can really give her the information she needs to make those procedure adjustments. That's a big leadership impact. So my concern with this is just kind of thinking about it a little bit more is there's 5,000 people within this company, and depending on how many people she interacts with, she's not emailing everyone, but I'm sure there's quite a few people in management positions that she really wants to know and understand. But you have to really be careful in terms of delegating the workload, absorbing information, because you can very easily burn out if you're being that hands-on. She sounds like a very good hands-on CEO, but I'd be very careful if I were her and not overextending yourself, because that can put you in a vulnerable position. So thank you everyone. Good luck to you. Feel free to email me anytime. And it was great working with you. I'll see you later.